Alright guys, we're back with another video on my channel. In this video, we're just going to be doing something a little different. It's a bit of a guide video. As you can see to my right here, I have got a what looks like a little contraption with some chests, some hoppers, and some furnaces. This is going to be a filters guide. So what we're going to do is I've got three filters pre-built, and yeah, we're just going to go over the benefits, what you need, and all that fun stuff for each of these filters. And yeah, we're just going to get right started. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but you know what? We'll start with this one then. Essentially, with this one, obviously, it's fairly simple. Hoppers, chests, you can quite literally see how it works. The oak wood goes in here, and that would put in the fuel, and then the wood would go in here for this, and then what would come out of the bottom would essentially be charcoal. So this is a infinite charcoal. Well, not really infinite, but you get the point. This is a mass charcoal generator. And as you'll see here, once it gets to 64, I believe it should kick on. That's strange, unless I swapped. Ah, okay. I did. I swapped them wrong. So the oak wood obviously goes in the top, so which means oak wood goes in here, and then the regular wood would go here. But this is just an easy, simple way to get a massive amount of charcoal. So obviously this is for mid to end game, end game players. And in my inventory here, I have quite literally all of the components you'll need: 6 hoppers, 2 chests, and six chests. So just gonna throw that in there. And as you can see, it's cooking charcoal at a relatively good rate. Obviously, you can build however many of these you like. They're, like I said, fairly simple. And we're just going to move on down here. This, obviously, I'm sure you could tell what it is. Infinite lava generator. Uh, you know, Obviously, you'll need however many cauldrons you want to make, however many pointed dripstones and buckets of lava for however many buckets you want to reproduce. Obviously, there's another way to make this filter. This generator. But for right now, I'm showing you the simplest way that I use to make it. Obviously, you would just take a regular bucket, collect all of this, and then you'd have your fuel. Normally, what I like to do is I like to get a stack of cobblestone when I start building this, because this takes quite a bit. Plus, if you want to put like a little staircase on the back side or on the side, it obviously requires some more. But yeah, like I said, you're gonna want, if you want to make, six, like here, I've got roughly around 10, I believe. If you want, 12, you make 12. Same thing with the dripstone. You collect however many you want to use, which is kind of why I just kind of left the cauldrons here at 1 and the pointed dripstones at 1. Obviously, you'll need a substantial amount of lava for the top part, in correlation with however many cauldrons and dripstone you have. But yeah, this generator is fairly simple to make. Obviously, I made it in like 20 minutes. As you can see, it generates, a fair amount of light as well, obviously, considering it's lava. I'm just going to make it day real quick. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. But yeah, it generates lava at a fairly fast rate. So, but the thing is with this, you have to be within the area for it to be generating. So, like, if you want to build this and then just sit around at your base and do things at your house, then that's probably your best bet. But if you're out exploring and you're like out of the chunk of where this is built, it unfortunately will turn the lava into water. I've had that experience before. Your best bet is building it in an area where you are constantly around, constantly with the same chunk loaded up, that kind of thing. But yeah, fairly simple, obviously, like I said. These two are probably the more simple filters. Filters, Jesus, I keep saying filters. More simple fuel generators. That's the word. This one here is a little bit more complicated. As you can see, you got some redstone, the hopper, the repeater, not the repeater, but the piston. I'm sure you can tell what it is. You know, the kelp grows, the observer activates, puts the kelp in here. Obviously, this is a not so big version of it, but there are other ways to make this filter. I keep saying filter. Oh my lord! Other ways to make this generator. Obviously, you could do it in like a row where it generates more kelp. But yeah, this generates kelp at a fairly fast rate. I built this maybe 10 minutes ago, before just setting up this video, and yeah, you know, and nothing in there. Obviously, it just comes up here, slides down into the hopper. Fairly simple. As you can see, a couple buckets of water, the hopper, the chest, the observer, the piston, the redstone, the oak planks, and the kelp. Not too difficult things. They're not too hard to not too hard to have. But in terms of this specific filter, this isn't really as efficient as some of the other ones. Like the charcoal generator is quite efficient. The lava is, really good. But yeah, it's just this one is obviously a bit more complicated because it has the redstone. You have to place the observer in the right direction, otherwise it won't work. And plus, you have to put the water buckets in the right way to get the flow pattern. So, yeah, it's just fairly simple, obviously, like I said. But unfortunately, this one is not as efficient. But yeah, not that it's not a bad filter to use, but this specific model isn't really the greatest. If I were somebody looking to build a kelp filter, what I would do is I would literally the exact same type, but instead of just having like one kelp stalk, I'd have like a whole row, maybe like 10. But obviously, that would require more observers, that would require more pistons, obviously, well, probably could do same chest. That's strange. The piece got stuck. Well, but yeah, like I was saying, if you want to build, this type, it's not a bad filter to have because kelp is a fairly somewhat decent fuel source. I think it's in between. I want to say it's in between charcoal and lava, time-wise, for how long it takes to smelt. But as I was saying, yeah, I would just have the row version of this. Obviously, this is just for show, but um, yeah, it obviously, like I was saying, this is for show, and it's not the greatest at producing kelp. But if you enjoyed this video, I know this video is a bit short, but yeah, if you want me to put out like a short little YouTube shorts on how to build these, then it shouldn't be a problem. I just need to know everybody's opinions and stuff. And yeah, if you enjoy this one, this guide video, I'm gonna have a couple more of these guide videos coming out. As you can see, I've got some more videos set up over here. But yeah, if you enjoyed these guide videos, be sure to let me know. Be sure to hit me up in the comments, and I will try and get back to everybody. Like I was saying, if you want me to kind of put out a little YouTube short videos on how to build these three specific fuel generators, I will absolutely do that. I will just catch you guys in the next video, and yeah, peace.